you a Star Wars fan, because you'll be amazed at number one, that a lot of women might be into the shit that you're into, but you're so worried about her judging you that you don't give it half a chance. But also some of the things that you're not into, you'll be amazed at how women would want to get into it because they want to get closer to you.
A lot of times they say shit like, "Oh, I'm free on weekends," or I'm usually free on Thursdays," or whatever the hell. So if it makes sense, then I schedule a date.
If she really liked you from the get-go, there would be no reward system you would have to look for to do anything for, right? Because it would automatically be there, And I like to do this in conversations sometimes. When you're speaking with somebody and you'll hear a girl say something like, "I'll never do this," or "I don't like this," or "I don't like that." And then you'll notice, you'll say, "Nah, I kind of like it. I like it when blah, blah, blah." And she's like, well, yeah, when you say it like that, I like it, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you switched up awfully fast for somebody that just really said they don't like something. And so, there's always been clues out there for fellas to understand, like, yo, if they really like you, they will change their whole political party.
They're not giving her real instruction. They're not letting her know what it really is. And most dudes don't do it. Most dudes don't say what it is because they're afraid to hear no, or they're afraid to bring up sex too early and all of this and all of that. But the bottom line is this. Either, again, and somebody said it, either she's feeling you or she's not. You understand? Either she's feeling you or she's not. We got to stop all this nonsense, man. Guys are too afraid to hear no, and it's like I'd rather hear no than to waste 2, 3, 4 dates and time spent, money spent, and all this other shit just to find out that you wasn't feeling me any damn way. You see what I'm saying? But so with me, first date is cool. If you don't want to do it on the first date, no problem. You could be on your period or whatever it is. There's a lot of things that could be off on the first date, right? It doesn't matter. But second date, you gotta know what it
is. For me, I like exclusive vagina to me. And that's because I don't want to catch nothing to have my later years messed up. And I like to stroke without no condom on. It feels great. So I like it.
So you like to be hugged by the sugar walls? You like to be hugged?
Yeah. I like that velvet, plush velvet. The smoothness. So,
but even then, J. Roman, I hear you.
He don't get up for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So, and the reason is because he has to conserve his energy to do 3 full workouts a day up until his competition date. You understand? So when he's in season, he literally just works out as hard as he can. Then he sits on the couch and his wife brings him everything. The only thing she don't do is fucking piss for him, right? So what I'm saying is, it's one thing to have a wife that does it, because you said earlier, these were the words you used. You said a woman who says, "Oh, I rock with this dude, so I don't mind doing this." But see, it's a difference between a woman who doesn't mind and a woman who cheerfully wants to do it. Understand the position of a simp. Make sure you understand the position of a friend zone nigga. Make sure you understand that a man doesn't do anything for nothing. You understand? So run the game, be careful, and do what you got to do.
And that's right there, J. Roman. And that's the problem. Your main chick should always be prioritized over all the new chicks. Right? The new chicks should not get preferential treatment. Right? So what would make it difficult for a lot of women is if you're giving girlfriend treatment to the new chick. Right? So this is why when you very first meet women, you have to establish boundaries and parameters where they got to earn everything. So that way, when the main chick is with you and she knows you're dealing with new women, she knows they have to go through the gauntlet too. They just don't get shit quicker. Like
labyrinth, streets be the maze. Hosts on the mic, Kerry K set in the blaze. Sagging, Miles Cunham with the game so tight. J. Roman lit the torch, keeping it right. Manhood's the challenge, skill set to master. In a world moving fast, gotta move faster. Trap beat, pounding 808, shake the floor. Guided by the host, wisdom like law. Kerry K drops jewels, the crowd enthralled. Words cut deep, no need for brawls. Miles Cunningham, tactic sharp like a dagger. Navigates the game, makes the haters stagger. Journey to manhood, no easy feat. Lessons from the masters, words concrete. J. Roman with the keys, opens the door. Manhood's the path, gotta crave for more. Manhood's the challenge, skill set to master. In a world moving fast, gotta move faster. Trap beat, pounding 808, shake the floor. Guided by the host, wisdom like law.
Yo, what's going on?
What's good? Mouth, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, anyway. So, bro, what's going on with you? How you living, fam?
Chilling, man. Chilling, just living this life, taking it one day at a time, you know. Yeah, man. It's feeling good. What's going on with you?
Hey, bro, chilling. It's nice and sunny here in San Antonio. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Guys, 2 hours. We're out of here. We out of here. I got some shit I'm trying to get into, literally. So, you know, brother got to go. You know what I'm saying? Can a woman truly love a man she doesn't respect? Can a woman truly love a man she doesn't respect? And I agree with you. And what I want to talk about is, in some cases, it's not unusual, but we're going to talk about how it's not sustainable for a stable relationship, right? And we're going to talk about how, you know, a woman could initially respect and love you, but she can lose respect for you, and the love is still there, but because the respect is gone, your experience with her is horrible, right? This is what, and let me say this, because this is one thing that the PUA guys and other guys on YouTube don't get right. All they do is focus on acquiring the woman. All they focus on, I got a woman that's pretty, that I'm fucking, that's willing to spend time with me, and that's all they care about. What they don't care about is the shit that a man who loves himself cares about, and that is the treatment. That is the positive experience. Because take my word for it, etch this shit in stone. You can only have positive experiences with women who respect you. Period. But go ahead, Miles, I'm gonna pass it to you. You want to speak to it, fam?
Yeah, that's real talk. That's real talk. You know, respect is, I don't know. Respect is more important than love. Let me say that first. Respect is definitely more important than love, because I think respect is like the platform. Yeah, I don't do the morning walk videos no more, man. Because
he just do private workout with his girl. That's better than walking and
shit. I got a whole new schedule. I got a whole new program for my shit. But yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I was saying, respect is like the foundation. You understand, and then everything from there is built. But the thing that we have to remember as men when it comes to respect is, you know, how we carry ourselves, right? Because we're the leaders, we're the architects. We design the culture of, you know, the type of respect, how she relates to us, and how we carry ourselves as men. Because you have to carry yourself as a respectable man in order to be respected. Because respect is something that you have to command, not demand. Right? Say
that again, please.
Respect is something that you have to command, not demand. As soon as you have to demand respect, whatever respect you get from there is not real, basically. You understand? Respect is something that it comes naturally based on your character, based on your masculine identity, based on the respect that you have for yourself. Like a lot of people are seeking respect, but when they say that, what they don't realize is that they're actually seeking validation, right? Because you say, oh yeah, you see, and this is why there's a lot of LeBron haters. Because I don't know if you remember when he won his first championship.
Mm-hmm.
And he said they interviewed him after the game, and he was like, yeah, you know, I want my damn respect. And I'm like, a man doesn't ask for respect, homie. You get what I'm saying? That's how you know that it's little shit like that keeps LeBron from being the GOAT to a nigga like me. You see what I'm saying? I don't care how many points that nigga got. He could have probably won more championships than Jordan, but he still can't be the GOAT just because of his mentality and the way that he move. You see what I'm saying? So he literally asked for respect after winning his first championship, and it's ridiculous. We got 713. I think this is monogamous. What's going on with you, bro?
Yes, sir. Miles, man. Goddamn, what's good, y'all?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Good to hear from you. Shout out to J Roman in the building.
What up, boy?
J Roman.
Yes, sir.
J Roman. Yeah. Hey, Miles. Just real quick. I don't want to hold you. There was just something very profound that you was explaining on yesterday's show that I'm actually going through too. And basically, one time you and Miss Lucario told me this. Really, I was telling everybody, but of course I was listening. You were just saying that sometimes you can get to the point to where, like, of course, the game is the game, right? And that's what we follow in our own way, right?
Right.
But sometimes you can get complacent in the game to where you feel like that's all you need.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But in actuality, and what you was explaining yesterday is that the game is continuous learning. Mm-hmm. So as you climb up the ladder and as you see that you're getting closer to the top, and you look up again and it seems like the top is further, that means that it's endless amount of game that you're going to learn throughout your life.
That's a fact.
So you're never going to be perfect. You see what I'm saying? It's always room for improvement. And I'm just glad that you just touched on that, because it's the same with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. So it's sometimes you be thinking that everything is consistent, but your girl is a reflection of you. So when something is not, when something is starting to become inconsistent, she's going to let you know.
In one way or another, she's going to fucking let you know. That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
And then another thing, Miles, because I ain't going to lie, I'm guilty of this. This is the last thing I want to say.
Yeah.
You said this. We make the mistake of worrying about how it made us feel instead of us looking into it and saying that, okay, what did I do to cause this to happen?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, man, I just want to say that when you touched on that, you was talking to me too. That's all I want to say, guys.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, that's real talk. Real talk, man. Real talk. Like we gotta, it's easy to have that knee-jerk reaction and then fall into a back and forth with a female, and you don't even realize that you like as a man, your whole point is to strive for excellence, to strive to the highest version of yourself. And the only way to really do that is to really look at what's going on and figure out what is your part in it. What did you do to allow this reality to come to you? And if you don't like it, then you got work to do. You understand? And see, the thing is, a lot of times we think that if we don't like something, it's our job to express it and to try to tell somebody else, you know, their fault and what they doing, and oh, well, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, and then that causes that whole back and forth argumentative bullshit. But as a man, all you really need to do is ask yourself, okay, the feeling is what it is, but it's just an indicator to let you know you're doing something wrong. So what do you need to do to actually fix it? What do you like? What is your part? What is your responsibility? You understand? And it actually goes with what we're saying as far as maintaining the ability to command respect, because the ability to command respect starts with you and your own self-mastery, right? So, and your self-mastery is a function of the self-respect that you have, right? And so once, especially dealing with a female, once she can really feel and see and be led by an example of that, that's when you command the respect. That's when you'll find that if you do this correctly, you'll find where a woman will fucking say some shit and realize that she's fucking up and check herself mid sentence. You see what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So it's really important that as men, we look at ourselves first before we even start to question a woman or question anything else. We really got to look at ourselves as men.
Let me add this. Right. And I want guys to think about something. If a woman was wanting to learn how to be a beautician or to do lashes or to do taxes or whatever, whomever she would go to for that tutelage, she would humble herself.
Facts.
And show respect to that person while she's learning that thing. So when you deal with women, assuming that a woman actually sees the value in fucking with you, guess what she needs to do? She needs to humble herself and show you deference, humble submission and respect, right? Because if a woman doesn't humble herself, then more than likely she's gonna believe that she's the focal point of everything, that everything is about her. Right. And she doesn't understand that when she's dealing with a man, she has to assimilate. She has to assimilate to what that man has going on. But here's the key, though. Women will not assimilate if they don't respect you. Now, what they will do is they will cooperate here and there when it benefits them, but you're going to see inconsistencies in that cooperation. Meaning sometimes they're going to cooperate, other times they're going to challenge you. But it's going to be a mix of that. And you can't have that. And when I'm telling you, when women respect you, you're not going to have that. The most you might have is when a woman is uncertain and she seeks clarity, right? But if a woman is always questioning your decision making and she's challenging you, the respect isn't there. Jay Roman, you got it, fam.
Facts. Are you muted?
Oh. Yeah, I was muted. I'm sorry, but the respect when respect is not there, it's mainly because it wasn't earned,
right?
And that's the thing that a lot of gentlemen don't really understand is that here you are coupled with somebody that is right next to you that sees all your flaws, good and bad. So when you say, you know what, I'm going to get up and work out, and she sees you get up, work out, and then fail on that. Or I'm going to make sure the cars are cleaned every weekend. And she sees you fail in that. I'm going to, I really need to work on getting to work on time. And she sees you fail on that. And then you tell her, hey, I want you to do this. How much respect does she have for you when she's seen that you won't even hold up the stuff for yourself?
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And then you turn around and say, oh, I got this woman. She don't want to listen. She doesn't submit. And to me, submitting is not when things are going great or not when you agree with me. Submitting is when you don't agree with me, but you understand that my plan is for everybody. In totality, it's going to take care of everything underneath this household. So
that's a great point. That's a great point. Even when she's kind of like funny with it, she still does it because she understands.
And a lot of times, I don't think gentlemen really understand how much of an example you need to lead before you can lead.
How much you need to lead before you can. Yeah,
because you have to lead yourself. You have to be an example to understand that what you're asking from somebody else.
You got to have that training.
Yep. So if you don't have consistency with yourself, and then you look, man, these girls, man, they say something, they say one thing, then they do another, and they do this and do that. Well, when the last time you looked at yourself and really judged yourself? It really took some time to, because to me, I know we say it and it sounds cliche to some guys, right? The game is about yourself so much when you really realize that, there is a ease that will come upon you that when you talk to women, it is no bothersome in your soul. Like, it don't matter how this interaction goes. I am cool because you already know that no matter what, it's me versus me.
Right.
It is me versus me on improving and getting better every day.
Yep.
So in relationships, I used to love coming to them and saying, hey, I would love it if it was all my fault because I could fix it quickly.
Right.
Because I'm always working on myself. But this is what I see. This is what we need to do. So, even in relationships, and I know guys with game, they like, oh, you know, they think about single women and going out and going to the club and hitting on them, and then they think when you get married or you get a girlfriend for a long time that, you know, you ain't, oh, that ain't game anymore. That's just a relationship. Like, no, you still need it because you will always work on yourself.
Let me address something real quick because I gotta hit y'all with a little reality. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world works.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's not the way the world works. Not everybody is granted basic respect. That's not the way the world works. It's not. That's not. We don't live in utopia.
Black man is fair. Please, I would really like for you to call in.
That's not the way, guys. Here's the reality of it. Okay, and this is what guys have to understand. And this is with anybody. This is not just with women. When people meet you, or when they have met your acquaintance, how you present yourself is going to tell them whether or not you're worthy of their respect. Period. Right. Period. So you can't say, "Oh, respect me because I'm a man," or respect. No, nigga, it don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And let me just say this real quick. And Miles, you made an excellent point about commanding respect. So, you know, I made a video and I talked about how, and I used a video clip from this young lady. And she was talking about how when, from a woman's perspective, that when men approach women, that many women feel like they have the upper hand. They have the advantage and they have leverage because, oh, he wants something from me. So, and that's with anything. Anytime you're selling something and somebody wants to buy something, you really have the leverage. Right? Especially if you don't need to sell it, but you're just now. If you need to sell it, they probably got the leverage because of supply and demand. But if you don't need to sell it, but they need it, you have the leverage. So when you approach women, many women are going to believe consciously or subconsciously that, oh, he wants something from me. So if he want it, then I got to benefit too. The problem is when you run into women who don't respect you, they're going to make you or attempt to make you do all kinds of shit. Right? Because they don't respect you. I'll give you a prime example. If you go up to a chick or a couple of chicks and you're talking to them and you be like, "Hey, ladies," and you're talking to them and they say, "So you're going to buy us a drink?" They don't respect you. The fact that they would even, any woman who asks you to spend money on her, specifically if she just met you, she doesn't respect you. In her mind, you're disposable. That's all you're there for. Right? So a lot of times guys are speaking to women, talking to women, and if you really want to know whether or not a woman respects you, how much of an investment do you have to make to fuck her? And that will tell you everything you know. Yeah, right.
I just want people to understand that don't mistake common courtesy and manners for respect.
Right. Facts. Exactly. Black man is fair. Because it's not necessarily respect. Please, call in, bro. Please call in. Let's get it going because I'd like to hear your real perspective. For real, call in, brother. What's the number again? Let me see. Where is that?
1-844-672-7300. I want to hear what the fairy tales are. I'm dying to know what the fairy tales are.
844-672-7300. It's a free call too. It's a free call, so you ain't got to worry about you don't got no excuses unless you're at work or something and you can't get to it. But yeah, go ahead and call in, bro.
I really don't know what we're saying wrong. Like he said, we're spinning fairy tales. How? Please elaborate.
A lot of these dudes don't really know what they're saying.
So let me read something to y'all, and then we're gonna break this down. So I want to talk about. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, everyone.
It's not. Have you ever heard somebody say, "I did this," and you like, "No, you didn't." It's like, yeah, and the only reason why you say no, you didn't, because you haven't experienced it or seen it yourself, right? And you think that's unfathomable. What are you talking about? And then the person goes, "Nah, I just did this and did this and did that, and it's easy." And then you learn, and you're like,
real quick. Yeah, real quick, J. Roman, hold on, real quick. If you don't call in, I'm gonna block you from commenting. What you're not gonna do is try and debate us in the chat, bro. Be a man and call in if you really believe in what you believe in.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
No, it's just that was just a quick point before Zag went on that sometimes I can understand. Like, yeah, it's unbelievable until you start living it and you realize, like, oh, okay, this is how you get to doing this. So,
facts.
All right. Okay. So again, what I want to talk about is why respect is important, but also the possible scenarios where attraction might exist. Excuse me. Where attraction might exist without respect. But I just want to read this. It is unusual, guys. It is unusual for a woman to fall in love with a man she doesn't respect or admire. It's unusual, right? While love can be complex and multifaceted, respect is often a crucial foundation for a healthy and lasting relationship. Without respect, a woman might experience a relationship with a man as emotionally draining, and she might not be able to fully commit to him. Mm-hmm. God, I need you to understand right now, when we talk about why respect is important for a woman, right, to have sustained fondness and love for you. And I want to speak because there's three things. Foundation for trust and security. See, a lot of women talk about security, but a lot of times when they talk about security, they don't really know how to break it down in a way that most men can understand. They break it down from an emotional woman's vantage point, right? When you talk about security, what real security is just trust. Trust in your consistency as a man. That's what real security is. She's not worried about you not being a man that you initially presented yourself to be. But when you're arguing I want guys to understand, when you're in a relationship where you're arguing, right? Hold on real quick, bro. Hold on, let me block this bitch ass nigga, dog. Put you in timeout. Hey, bro, don't come over here talking shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'll show you exactly what I think about you, right? So anyway, then I lost my train of thought fucking with that nigga. And shit, what was I saying about? Fuck. Okay, all right. Foundation for trust and security, right? When it comes to security, the money aspect of it, women got their own money.
Right.
So they don't really need that. Any woman who says she needs security with money is either a chick who's lazy or a woman who doesn't feel like you're doing your part. So if a woman got it together financially, but you don't, then she's going to feel like she lacks security because she's going to feel like, damn, am I going to have to pay his bills too? So no woman wants to be in that predicament, right? So, but when we talk about security, a woman has to respect you. There has to be a sense of admiration there. And there has to be a level of consistency, right? That she can rely upon, right? You want to speak to it, Miles?
Well, the angle I want to come at it from is respect is one of those things that all right. So respect is in a lot of ways regard and admiration for things that are consistent. You understand? That's why, because you said earlier that it's hard to be in a long-term situation, for her to have that admiration for you over a longer period of time. Respect is a regard for things that are consistent. So, so here's what I mean. A woman can like you, right? Temporarily, because when she met you, you had the the VIP section in the club, and when she met you, you was maybe popping bottles, or maybe you was out on a yacht, or maybe she saw you pull up in something, in whatever you pulled up in. You feel me? And she can like that, and she can like the lifestyle, and she can like something that is associated with fucking with you, right? But respect is about things that are more intangible and consistent, that have to do with your character and the way that you move, the way that you behave, the way that you carry yourself. You understand? So it's even when homie says some shit about, everybody has a basic respect. No, it's people could like you for whatever reason. That's why so many dudes out there, they get with chicks, they fuck them for a couple of weeks, and then it fizzles out.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? You got all these PUA dudes. Most of them, you ask them, do you have a girlfriend? No, they don't. They're not in a relationship because they only know how to attract bitches temporarily, right? Because they're
superficially, temporarily and superficially.
Exactly. Because it's not about nothing. Like I said, it's not about your character. It has nothing to do with the consistency of your character. That's why I talk about a masculine identity. That's why having a masculine identity is so important, because that is the only way to specifically have a woman respect you and then have things about you that she not only respects but admires. And then because it's your identity, it's unique to you. So if she truly respects it and admires it, chances are she's gonna fuck with it, and she's gonna do her best to enhance it because she sees the value in it. And not only that, but it is a rare value, a rare and specific value that is associated to your character specifically. You understand? So and again, this is why none of those PUA dudes usually most of them, they're not married. They're not in a relationship. A lot of times,
and they've never been.
Exactly.
They've never been. Let me address something. Duke of Lux, shout out Duke of Lux with the Norwegian Chrome, the 20 joint. Let me address this dude because I'm about to blow up this whole shit right here. He says a woman can't love. She may call it that, but that's not love, even in the Bible. Hey, let me tell you something. Only a guy who's never had a woman fall in love with him would say such things. Because I'm here to tell you, women are very capable of loving very deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are. When you've had multiple women, not 2, not 3, not 4, I don't want to brag, so I'm going to stop right there. When you've had multiple women fall in love with you, you know women are highly capable of loving very deeply and very immensely, right? Mm. So this is really a cope, right? You're really coping. But what I'm going to show you is that many men don't know how to love. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you that most guys don't know how to love, but they accuse women of not knowing how to love. I'm going to show it to you. Any guy who says he can't get into a serious relationship with a woman who's got a body count, you are unable to love a woman. Why? Because you're placing conditions on your love. See, when you place conditions on your love, you can't love. Right? So, and this is for any woman or any guy. If you're placing conditions on your love, or I can only love a woman who's only had like 3 bodies, bro, that's not love. Mm-hmm. You don't know what love is. Y'all got it.
Right.
For me, in my head, I feel like this. Love is how they feel about you. They could love you. They could really love you and not want to be with you. They could love you and not respect you.
This is that same guy with
and have kids. They could love you and have kids and all sorts of things with you. To me, respect is how they view you and the interaction you have with them.
I'm about to block this nigga too. Go ahead, bro. I don't like when niggas try and debate in the chat. Like, we're men. Like, if you really stand on what you believe in, nigga, call up and tell the audience why you feel the way you feel. People might agree with you. But this right here, let me just read this. Show me where it says woman. Nigga, are you telling me that you're going to find that in print, in a book, nigga? You're going to find, you expect to read something where it says women are capable of loving a man and then you will believe it? Bro, how goofy are you? How goofy? Go ahead, bro.
That's just how I feel about that whole little thing. I think respect is deserved, it's earned, it's how they view you and your interaction. And you can tell the difference when somebody respects you, period. Because when you go to speak or you go to talk, they listen. It's listened to and heard. To me, love is just how they feel about you. You know, there's some ladies that love their ex-husbands just because of, what type of husband he was, and they realize that he was a pretty good husband, but they can't be with that person for whatever reason. They just love that in that moment they were really cool with each other, and that's my best friend. That was like my best friend now. Respect, you can tell when a woman respects a man, even if they're not together, by the way they interact with each other, the way when he says something that she still listens to it and move as like, I know he knows best. And I think that's a big difference in what you see it. You can even see it, and it's not a man and woman thing. You can see it if you're talking amongst the coworkers at work and you go to speak and everybody kind of listens and they give you you don't have to fight for the attention. You don't have to fight to be heard. They respect you in that manner. And but everybody can like you. They go, oh man, that's a real cool guy. And then you start talking and see if they try to talk over you, see if they try to hush you, see if they ignore you. Then you don't have the respect. They may like you, but they don't respect you. And I think that, there's a big difference. And to me, yeah, women can love, but they need to respect too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And let me just say this about that, because a lot of people, and women are guilty of this too, right? Because people tend to romanticize love. And if you just think about love is a fickle feeling. This is why they talk about people falling in and out of love. It's a fickle feeling, right? And there's levels to it, right? Just like you can love a pair of shoes, you know what I'm saying? Or you can love a car, right? Or you can love your brother, but the love you have for your child is a different kind of love. So there's levels to it. I think the problem with a lot of people, they think if they can find love, that all the things that make them feel fucked up, they'll feel better. If I can just find love me and that I can love, and then everything will be right with the world. And that's not how the world works. It don't work that way, right? And respect is, and Miles, you alluded to it. J. Roman, you said it. The only thing guys should concern themselves with is respect, nothing else. Okay, nothing else. Everything else is just extras. Like, if the respect ain't there, it don't matter no way. But let me also say this about respect, and it goes back to positive interactions, right? Like, even with the PUAs, if you're talking to a woman for an hour trying to convince her of your value, how is that a positive interaction? Because you're talking for an hour to try and convince her of your value. This guy met a chick. He talked to her for 5 minutes, and they already leaving to go fuck. Whose interaction is more positive? Right? I just want to know, right? And what it is I want men to win. But the question is, do you want to win, though? Do you want to win? And my thing is, sex is cool, all right? If you are a warm-blooded heterosexual man, right, we all love sex, right? We all do. But the problem is, some of you guys love sex so much, it's at the detriment of your dignity. It's at the detriment of your integrity. And you compromise them shits for affection. And the majority of men do. I don't care if you're married, if you have a family, a girlfriend, engaged to be married, passport bros, if you're single. There's a lot of men who really don't love themselves. They think they love themselves. They think they do. But all you got to do is look at your actions in relations to women. That's all you got to do. Yeah, I got it.
No, I got caught up in these questions here.
We got any questions?
Yeah, let me grab them. Let me snatch them up. Let me snatch them up here. All righty. There's a question at the top. Let me snatch that motherfucker up first. Oh, shout out to Duke of Luck for the $10 Norwegian krone. My bad, fam. All right, so he says, how do you learn how to love yourself and where do you start? This is a great question. What I would highly suggest you do is get with the homie Miles. He has a membership, masculine identity membership.com. He also has another joint, cuttinghelements.com. He talks about a masculine identity. I think that would be perfect for you. So hit up Miles on the back end. I don't know if y'all want to answer the question or not, but the best answer I can give is hit up Miles on the back end.
Well, how do you learn to love yourself? You start by looking at your life and asking yourself, who am I? What do I want? Those are the first two questions you got to ask yourself. And then from there, it's a lot of, you got to learn a different language, right? Because your language exposes you. You have to be specific. You understand? You have to be specific, because there are many times where when we're dealing with self-improvement and, learning self-acceptance and self-mastery, a lot of it turns out to be cliched general speak. You understand? And this is why I talk about having a masculine identity, meaning is that the way I love myself is going to look different from the way K Zaggin love himself. It's going to look different from the way J. Roman love himself, because we are all different men. We all have a different identity. So loving ourselves is gonna have a different look, a different feel, because I'm not here to be like every other guy. I'm not here to do what every other nigga do, because I'm not satisfied. I might not be satisfied with what another man is satisfied with, and so on and so forth. So you have to look at your life and then start to visualize in full detail. And then from there, you can build on it. But again, these are all the things that I'll go over with you if you schedule a consultation or you come through to the Monday night Zoom classes.
I think that was Zach said it best. Get with Miles here. Because I was going to make that same point that everybody's an individual. You know, I always say, hey, write down the things you like to do, write down your best qualities, and then write down your worst qualities.
Right.
You know, if you ain't got a list of your worst qualities, then you got to really consider, are you really being honest with yourself? And I think that if you're asking that,
I'm joking.
I don't think if you're asking yourself this question, you might not be good at being honest with yourself. And so it might take somebody else saying, hey, did you think about this? Let's start thinking about that. Let's start moving along. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, to me, you might need somebody to say, hey, I want you to consider this and like this. And I think, you know, since Miles has been doing this and helping individuals, why not hit up somebody that has a whole platform designed to you getting to know you, not somebody else, but you, and to move how you want to move. So
let me say this. And I have to ask this question, right? Because a lot of times when guys are asking questions, it's something deeper at play. And for any man who don't know how to love himself, doesn't understand what it looks like to love himself, what kind of upbringing did you have? Did you have love in your house? Like, and it sounds like I'm being facetious, but I'm being real.
Yo, that is some of the biggest parts of the conversation when I do my consultations.
I think a lot of people learned how to love others and not really themselves.
Exactly.
And so they don't. It's hard for them to see love in a manner of themselves compared to taking care of others.
J. Roman, right there. Imagine if you're conditioned to love other people or show love for other people and they reject it. Imagine how depressed it would be.
All right. So, DC Touchmaster, what's going on with you, bro?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, what's going on, old man? Come on, get to the phone, man. Get to the phone. What's going on with you?
What up, man? What up, everybody? Nephews, K-Zag and 20 Miles and J. Roman. What's up?
What's up, man?
I just want to say, you know, can a woman truly love a man that she doesn't respect? Why a man want a woman to love him anyway? I mean, just respect him. Now, to the question the brother has put on there, how do you love yourself? Do you, nigga? That's how you love yourself. Do you? Right. And that's the bottom fucking line.
Right. Real talk. Yep.
I mean, you want to do something, do it. And fuck what people say, look at you. I like people looking at me. Yeah, you might learn something. Shit. That don't bother me.
Right.
Hey, Linwood, real quick. I did a joint yesterday, and I said, I don't have free time. I have me time. Like chicks do. I don't have no free time. I have no free time for a woman. I have me time. So while I'm doing me, you can come enjoy me while I'm doing me. That's the only time I got.
Exactly. You know, I'm always like the summertime. Like last week, I was on the bay. Tomorrow, I'm going back on the bay. That's me. I love fishing. I love me. I love fishing. I love to bring the fish home. And oddly, I love to clean my own goddamn fish. That's how I love myself.
Right.
I do too. I love catching them and you know, filleting them and all that shit.
Yeah, man, because it's my work, it's me, and I appreciate it more, and the shit tastes good coming right out the water. Oh, my gosh. Anyway,
yes, sir.
Man, that's how you love yourself, you brothers, young nephews. You got to do you, man. Don't and respect yourself, which means that you have to, I'm not going to say make or force people to respect you, but let people know, you know, you got to check them. Right from the outset, if something that does not go with your tenets, you have to check it right there.
Bro,
right? And a lot of brothers don't do that. They let shit ride.
I don't even consider that making or forcing.
Crash out.
Right.
Linwood, you mentioned the part about fishing. Bro, I remember when I went fishing with one of my homies and I caught some fish and I brought them joints home and I started cleaning them and filleting them. The way my woman looked at me, because she never seen that. She never even knew that I could fish. So when she saw me bringing the fish, and cleaning them and filleting them, the way she looked at me, bro, it's like the heavens opened up and she had hard eyes. Like, look at this man doing man shit. But go ahead, y'all got it, man.
Let me tell you, years later, before I go, something you said interesting, Zag, and fellas, listen to this. A woman will like to watch you at task that benefits benefits them.
Facts. That's true. That's some true shit.
I
It gives them insight about you.
Shit flying everywhere, and the girl sat on the cooler said, "Damn, you cook like my father, man. You clean your hands every time. You shit chopping, just shit running all over." I said, "Well, if you see it, damn it, clean up behind me. Let's make it better." She's like, "Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. You got to put these guys to task. When they watching you, put them to task."
Nah, facts.
Hey, real quick. I prepare this. You clean up. That's teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work.
That's it, man. So, fellas, love yourself, respect yourself, and the bottom line is, do you. If you like doing it, fine, do it. If you don't like doing it, don't do it because someone else asked you to do it. You can say no, just like them that you say no. I'm out. Have a good weekend.
All right, appreciate you. Take it easy, brother. Good to hear from you.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I love the differences in men, though. Right? Because we're all different. You know, I don't play that, I do this and then you clean up behind me. I don't do that. I'll do it. I'll clean up. I'll put it up because I want to teach you to complete a task. Don't do it halfway expecting somebody else to clean. Like, complete the task.
Can you start over? And say that again?
Yeah. I just, the difference in I don't teach like, hey, if you do something, I'm gonna clean up, or I'm doing something, you clean up. No. Complete the task. I do it all myself.
Right.
So
I love it. And that's some game for you. That's some real game right there for you. I love that. You know
but you got to live the example to do it, though.
You got to live it.
And I think that's, and I keep going over it because, just for people who just tuning in or listening, I've always come from the perspective of legacy and a man with a family or a man in himself, right? So, I don't really comment too much about how to game up chicks and all this other stuff. That's, to me, you got to knock and bump your head on that a lot of times. Now, I'll give a little bit of advice, but really it's about that legacy. And I think that when you have the responsibility of a family and people around you, especially children, you have to teach your young men now on how to be, on how to think, how to love themselves, how to go about in this world. And it's important because a lot of times we wait till they get a little older, and those are the guys that call the show that's at 17, 18, well, not 17, but 18 and 19. They say, yeah, I have my dad in my life. He's pretty cool, but he never taught me that.
Right.
And it's not that he never taught you. He probably was going to teach you a little bit later when you really started having true interactions with females, right? When he starts seeing you coupling up for, a long period of time. And he say, hey, let me tell you about this. Your dad's been married for this amount of time. I see you going through this, but that's a little too late. And I don't think guys realize that's a little too late because the person you need to be talking to him is himself. So he really knows himself. And that's a big part of it. So,
Yeah.
So you got to live it.
I start in elementary school talking to my boys about girls. I start early, bro. I get them at 8, 9, 10, bro. As soon as they talking about a girl is cute, I got to pull them to the side and holler at them, bro. Now, of course, because they're kids, I'm not going to talk to him like he's 18. I got to be mindful that he's a child. I got to speak in a way where he can still receive it as a child, where it's not too much for him because he's not old enough to grasp the concept. But I start talking early, like even when it comes to like STDs and shit. When my boys are like, my girls too, I do the same shit. When they're like 11, 12, bro, I hit the internet and I show them what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? When you have an unprotected sex, I show them exactly, vagina, penis. I show them very graphic images of what it looked like when you moving like that, right? Because I want them to know early. And let me just say this, right? Because the first time I encountered sex, I was 12, right? And I wasn't having sex at 12, but I witnessed a train, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I know motherfuckers is fucking that young, right? So I'm grabbing my kids before they get to that age, and I'm getting at them, right? And you can't really control the choices they make. You just got to give them the repercussions, the ramifications.
Oh, your robot shit is kicking in.
Yeah. All right, hold on. But yeah, I agree. For me, a lot of my focus when it comes to my kids or young ones around me is their attitude toward themselves.
Yeah.
Are we all sounding like that now, or is just
Nah, it's him.
Does it still sound like that?
It's because some of the show is playing through his audio. That's why.
okay?
Does it still sound like that?
Yeah. But you still sound like that. Put your shit on mute or reboot your shit and come back.
Yeah. So one of my big things is the responsibility of your kids' mental mind state on themselves.
Hold on. Zag, please mute yourself. Because we're hearing everything. All right, thanks. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
No, so just their own mental mindset, and I think that for young men, you really got to. What did you say about just? Oh, I can't do it, and I know that's an easy one for people to catch. Like can't on. Oh, you can do it, son. You can do it.
Exactly.
You can do it. This is you like some little girl at school. Okay, what's her name? What's she? Okay, so what do you like about her? What do you like about her? What do you what do you think? Like, we got to start asking these questions and start really guiding our young men to understand their roles and responsibilities even at a young age, because it don't start when you get just 22 or 21. So
that's a fact. Yeah, because because we can't. No, I think a big problem is that we allow for that one-sided narrative to go on for too long, where it's like, oh yeah, girls are sugar, spice, and everything nice, and as men, we like them, we like, they're so this, they're so that, they're so this, they're so that. But it's like, we need to teach the young man to look at himself and say, what about her actually speaks to you, like. Yeah. Take away her, the way that she looks and all that. What about her actually means something to you? You understand? And, and what do you have to offer to the situation? And what would you do if you got with her? You get what I'm saying? Like what's the reason for you to get with her? All these different things need to be asked, and it's real talk, but I don't think we ask them enough. So a lot of these young men, they fall into the situation of just liking like K-Zach said earlier, just dealing with women on a superficial level and wanting to be with a woman on a superficial level. And again, that's why I say that's why so many relationships don't work out. And the sad part is there's a lot of relationships that wasn't supposed to fucking work out, but motherfuckers was dumb and ended up marrying the bitch.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of marriages out there that shouldn't exist, but because people either got complacent or they told themselves, oh well, most relationships are have a little bit of dysfunction, so it shouldn't be that bad. But no, you shouldn't be with that fucking person, and that's the truth.
I'm gonna read this comment right here.
Am I sound good?
Yeah, you back to
a lot better.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna mess up the last name. William Akeeman, I think it says, facts, Zag. I have daughters, and I teach them to respect themselves and carry themselves correct. As a result, they share their thoughts openly, and I think that's very important.
Yep.
I could be in any gentleman with daughters, because there's a fine line of what you got to teach.
Yeah,
because I too, hey, respect yourself. Don't let nobody talk down on you. But at the same time, I also got to teach you that, hey, you need to learn how to judge a man that you have in your life and submit to that judgment. Right? Because, a lot of times guys hold their daughters so tight, they wind up 30-year-olds and they're still in their house, working and got a man in sight for nothing. My thing is that, hey, I'm going to have to teach you on both sides, because as a father, as a man in a relationship that knows certain things, I have to teach you on what will attract a decent, good man, because I'm a great man. Exactly. Right? So, I want you to get somebody like Dad.
Mm-hmm. Right there. And at the New York Real Game, I said Real Game, the Game Kings joint in New York, I think it was in April 2023, I think it was, Miles, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And I said that because I remember a guy in the audience when we was doing question and answer session, he talked about that. And I told him this, as a father, if you want your daughter or daughters to date a certain kind of man, you got to be that man. You got to show them that you're doing a upbringing. Now, here's the thing, though. It's not a guarantee that she's going to fuck with a man like you. Why? Because attraction and sexual attraction or wild cards. Like you can't predict how she's gonna respond to a man who might not be like you, but her pussy get wet in his presence. You know what I'm saying? So all you can hope though is I hope she's sensible enough to know who she should just have sex with and who she should actually consider being with. Hopefully, that's right there where the teachings come in, where she understands, because you can't control whether or not she has casual sex encounters. No. Is she doesn't get in a relationship with a loser. That's all you can hope. I'm saying is that.
Right. And so even at a young age with her, I said, hey, she came home, and I'm not gonna lie, my elevator dropped though. You know, she was like, oh, I like this kid at school, and I was like, okay, what do you like about him? You know, is he smart? Does he have good grades in school? How does he treat people when the teachers aren't listening? How does he treat other people? How does he treat not just you, but how does he treat other people when nobody of age that's around that he can get in trouble? You know, how does he talk? How does he, those are things that you have to teach him to consider, because, if this person's going to be interacting with you, when this cuteness wears off, he's going to treat you like any other person. So you need to know how he acts and interacts with other people, respectfully or not. So, once that happens, they start to learn how to judge and start, they'll have their own criterias, right? Something that we won't even know about, right? Or we don't even, just like you said, there's some things that I don't even want to, hey, I know it's going to happen, so forth. But at the same time, let me give you a baseline of how to judge somebody being next to you.
I want to address something right here, and this is very unfortunate. Frankie Shaw says, unfortunately, my father never guided me. And this has nothing to do with race, because I have clients who are white, Hispanic, Vietnamese, and German, and everything else. A lot of them, same thing. Whether they live in Europe, South America, it don't matter. A lot of them have the same situation where their fathers don't really teach. They don't. Here's the thing. Like I'll use myself as an example. My son, my eldest son, when he was in high school, he got a lot of attention from women. I mean, he's part of me. That makes sense that he would, right? So one of the things when he was dealing with chicks, I told him when he was in high school, I said, I don't want you getting into a serious relationship with any of these chicks, because you ain't gonna be fucking with them after high school anyway. Okay, more than likely. So I don't want you getting caught up in just in these women like that. And so we were talking about the prospect of him eventually being in a relationship. One thing that I told him was, as a man, before you even think about a relationship, you have to know what kind of relationship you want. Okay, meaning a monogamous one, a non-monogamous one. Because I told him, I said, it's easy to say I'm going to get into a monogamous, sexually exclusive relationship with this woman. That's how you feel today, right? But as time marches on, you might not feel the same. When a new car smell wear off, when you get used to the head and used to everything else, you might feel like I need some variety in my life. But also, here's the key. It's easy for you to say, I'm not going to approach any women. Like if you're in a relationship, I'm not going to fuck with no chicks. I'm going to leave them alone. That's easy. But what you going to do when women that you are attracted to you step to you and throw you the pussy? What you going to do with that? Okay. And this is something that I explained to him. That you can see a woman across the room and consciously make a decision not to go talk to her. But if she came up to you and literally threw the pussy, what you gonna do? Most guys are gonna fold. And this is how you know what type of relationship you should or shouldn't be in. Y'all got it.
I think Frankie, was it Frankie Sky or Frankie Shy? You got to give your dad a little bit of grace, because a lot of times, and this is why it was so important to pick the right woman to make a mother, because a lot of times, a lot of gentlemen back in the day let their moms take care of that. The moms were supposed to let you know exactly what to do, and mainly because they got him. So he would kind of just pass it along and say, hey, you should be teaching her these things, hopefully he got the right mother that that taught you these things. And so you got to give them a little bit of grace in some situations. I don't know everybody's situations, but I've heard my pops back in the day be like, hey, you need to tell her, speaking to my mother about certain things, dealing with my sister, how the things he wanted her to know and to tell, he felt it was better coming from the mother and not him. I'm of a different thought line though. I'm pops I'm the leader of all things.
I got to be. I got to be hands-on.
I need to teach everything. You know,
I got to be hands-on.
And get assisted by the mother too. So
yeah. I have no problem delegating to the woman. And when you talk about a household, you need both the man and woman. Okay? Even if they don't live together, there needs to be a working relationship to rear those kids, right? And I'm hands-on. So to your point, Jay Roman, there's going to be certain things just from the female perspective that she has to instill. And not only your sons, but your daughters. But to your point, if you choose the wrong chick to have kids with, none of that will matter. None of that will matter, because what's going to happen, and this is what guys don't think about. When you're actively in a household with a woman, y'all are married, or even if you're not married, if you have a child or children and y'all are living together, if that relationship doesn't work out and that woman is living somewhere else with them kids, are your teachings and guidance still going to be prevalent in that home? Or is she going to be like, I ain't with this nigga no more, so I ain't got to listen to nothing he's saying. So now all your teachings are being undone once a divorce or a breakup happens because you chose the wrong chick.
Right.
And that's where you better hope she respects you. Because love ain't gonna do nothing about that situation.
Because even a lot of guys don't believe that a divorce or a breakup can happen and a woman still respects you. A lot of guys don't think it's possible. Yes, it is. If you chose the right woman and you didn't fuck her over, because if you fuck her over, you can't control what she does to get you back, right? But as long as she respects you, even if the breakup or divorce, as long as it's kosher and it's respectable, bro, you're not gonna have a difficult time making sure that your teachings and your guidance with your kids stay intact. Even if she's dating another man, living in a completely different home. Okay, and let me just say this real quick about love. I meant to say this earlier because the guy was talking about women don't love you. Look, let me tell you something. And I said this. The mother of my oldest children, right? I broke up with her in 2000. It is 2025. For 25 years, nigga, I get a birthday text every birthday. I get a Merry Christmas text. I get a Happy Father's Day text. 25 years. Every time this woman met a new chick, she told the new chick to her face, I still love Kerry. I don't want to be with him,
right?
But I love him. Take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And see, if you've never experienced that, of course you're going to believe that women can't love. But I know better. Y'all got
right.
it.
Right.
I actually got something coming out about, I've been working on stuff in the background, but I got some stuff coming out about the 10 mistakes like single dads usually make. And just kind of one of them is that not taking the responsibility to lead still. Just because you're not together, you still have to lead on how the relationship is going to go. And that lead is basically where you show respect and it'll start to come back to you. Now, of course, depending on how things broke up, you'll probably be dealing with somebody that's not too agreeable a lot of ways. But, there's things you could do, to make that happen, to be a little better. And just one of those things is that you have to express to her like, hey, we were going to disagree on things no matter if we were together or not. Disagreeing is not uncommon, but it doesn't mean that we have to turn it all into a battle. And so you can't sit there and yell, and you can't sit there and have these arguments, with them, because, all they do is go shut their door and go home, right? And you too. So you can't really affect the other place. So you have to build some sort of respect line on that. And it's your responsibility to do that as a leader, as a man still. So,
there you go. And the homie says most parents settle for each other and don't love themselves, and that's why they can't teach self-love. And that's a fact. I'm glad you said that. And here's the thing about people settling. If you're settling in a relationship, how invested are you going to be in every aspect of that relationship? How invested are you going to be? You're not. If a woman settled for you, she's not really invested. Okay, she's biding her time. She's kind of there. Now, that doesn't mean that she won't have sex with you. That doesn't mean y'all won't go out on dates and all that other shit. But you're going to see a lot of inconsistencies in her response to instructions, to your guidance, to your tutelage. There's going to be some arguments. There's going to be a lot of challenging going on because she settled for you. You're not that guy.
Right.
And I would argue this. Can a woman really respect the man she settled for? Can she? Can a woman really respect? I don't know. Because I've never been settled for, so I don't know.
I disagree with Ahmad's statement here.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that they won't be able to live what they teach, but they could teach it. A wounded animal can tell you don't step right there. There's a trap. So I think they, for all the couples that are still with each other, that settled for each other, save your son, save your daughter, teach
because,
them.
You know what? When you talk about,
you can still teach. You just can't show them.
See, there you go, and that's on YouTube. Same thing. You got guys that don't have no real world experiences, but they call themselves facilitating knowledge, but they really can't really teach you anything. They can say some shit, and to a person that lacks less knowledge than them, they'll listen because they're not as knowledgeable as the person that's speaking. But because we're knowledgeable, we know what he's saying is bullshit. But to a person who ain't got no game, because that person has more knowledge, they'll just go for it, right? Especially if they're saying things that they like. You know what I'm saying? They'll just go for it. Yeah, okay, so we got a girl in the house. Settling doesn't equate. Hey, she said it, guys. This is a young lady who said settling doesn't equate to happiness. So now here's the thing, and I would tell any guy this. If you just want a relationship just to have one, then by all means, have it. But if you, go ahead, Miles, I know you want to speak to it.
I want to say something about the idea of settling. And I think the majority of people out there have settling incorrect. You understand? Especially, well, all people, but women in certain particular ways and men in certain particular ways. So how do men get settling wrong? Men get settling wrong in the way that they think they're settling superficially because her titties ain't big enough or her ass ain't big enough. And so they think they're settling. You understand? Okay. Not realizing that the real settling that they doing is dealing with a woman that don't respect them.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then on the flip side with the women, a lot of women, because these women, especially these chicks on the podcast and all this shit, when they said that they're settling, oh, well, I'm settling because I wanted a man that was that was 6 foot, but he's only 5'9", so I'm settling. Or I wanted a man that made at least $100,000, but this man makes 85, so I'm settling. No. You're settling because you know you don't really like that nigga. You know that his character and identity is not what you truly love and respect and admire. You like the lifestyle that comes. You understand? It's like the lifestyle and the superficial shit that the woman claimed that is more important to her than his character is like the big titties and the fat ass for the dude. You see what I'm saying? It's like equivalent, but it's different.
Well, I can't even talk to that if maybe some further investigation need to be done. But if that really is a dude with the girl's profile picture and stuff, I'm good on speaking about anything else. On that statement.
I gotta go wash. I gotta go take a shower now after I said that shit.
Let me just finish it. I'll say, so we have to really be honest and deal with knowing who we are as, especially men, right? But women to a certain extent too, meaning that, like you touched on earlier before, J. Roman, about like teaching the daughter what a man looks like and the type of man that she should want to associate herself with, right? Based on his character. So it's like, my thing is this. I think people need to be honest about what the fuck they mean when they mean settling. You understand? We need to be honest about that shit, because a lot of us think we're settling, again, just because some superficial bullshit is not exactly what it's supposed to be. Meanwhile, that person has horrible character. There's a lot of fucking dysfunction, but you're still moving forward with the goddamn relationship. You see what I'm saying? So you unless you don't really know what you're settling for if you don't know who the fuck you are.
All right, there you go. Couldn't have said it better myself. Now there is a question.
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, Nikki, I'm disappointed in you. Yo, you. I feel like
that profile pic's changed. I know what I was looking at before, man, and I'm always believe my eyes before somebody else. So
Phone lines are open though. 844-672-7300. A lot of y'all talking a lot of shit. Go ahead and call in. It's a free call. Yeah. All right. So we got 614. You are on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got your host K Zaggin. We got J Roman and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Yeah, John, 24, in Atlanta.
Okay, what's up, John? How you doing?
All right. I was hearing that point you were saying about showing the daughters the type of man she would look for, right?
Uh-huh.
So I kind of resonate with that because even though like me growing up, my dad didn't really show me like certain stuff as like how to move as a man. I had to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Me having a daughter, I'm still learning to like I open the door for her everywhere she go. Like, you don't touch no door. I'm starting to like develop these things because I feel like it's going to be good for her growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as just interacting with
let me ask you a question.
Even if
Go ahead. Let me ask you a question real quick, and I'll give it back to you. Let me pause. Let me ask you a question. So it's great that you're doing that for your daughter, but what's your motivation though? To do?
Just trying to like be like set an example. You know what I'm saying? Just set an example because I think I do see value in those things, even though I wasn't taught those things. I do see value in it.
Okay. Just being like chivalrous, just being chivalrous.
Yeah. Just
okay, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, I got a question off of that too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, do you open the door for every woman that you encounter that's not your daughter?
Great question.
No, only like the
You're inconsistent.
You said what?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said no, only the women that are in my family.
Okay.
See.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So here's the thing, and that was a great question. That was a great question because Carla, I'll just use myself as an example. I have daughters. I hold the door open for my daughters and all of that shit. However, I hold the door open for everybody. Man, woman, child, domestic pet, don't matter. I hold the door open for everybody, right? Even for women or people who just walk through it and don't say thank you. Even them disrespectful, discourteous motherfuckers. And I still do it though. Even though, okay, and there's times I held the door and they walk through it and I would yell behind the bitch, you're welcome, right? but my point is, I still, even though I get irritated at people who are just discourteous, I got to remember I'm not doing it for validation. I'm not doing it to hear a thank you. I'm doing it. It's really part of who I am, right? You see what I'm saying? So when you do things, it's part of who you are, or you just do it for this little part of who you are. But y'all got it.
Well, I was going to say part of the reason I'm doing it is more of like for a protection thing. So I do it more like a reason I do it for family and not everybody because it's like that's me showing like being a protector for my family. Okay, I'm making sure she's good. You know what I'm saying? Hold her on this side of the street. You know what I'm saying? That's my idea of like, you know, making sure she's good while she's with me.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't. You know, I agree with how you want to do things and teach her certain things. Consistency is the key. And I do like the separation between others and my family. So if you're going to do something, you're showing her that, hey, you know, it's not for everybody, but it's just for, you know, the close-knit family and somebody that has concern and love for you. So, you know, I get it. I think that, you know, we have to always be mindful of not only speaking, but living what we speak when it comes to setting examples and making sure we have that conversation. Sometimes we assume people observed something and they really didn't.
Right.
So I'm my biggest promoter. And I don't care if you want to roll your eyes. If I open the door for you, just like Kerry said, then I want some acknowledgement. and it's not for the fact that, you know, it's going to make or break my day, but it's for the fact that, hey, recognize that somebody has just done something. And that's it. You have to recognize that. For me, that's just me.
It's just being courteous. It's just being courteous.
That's me. So like somebody, hey, you welcome, right? Because I didn't have to do this, but I did it. Now you don't have to bend down and hey, well, I praise you for opening the door. No, it's not that serious. But for me, you have to be your own promoter. That's what I just think, because I don't let negative seep inside my soul.
Facts.
Right. So, I make sure that it's nothing but positive in me. So, and I demand that too. So, but anyway, I appreciate it, man.
But that was kind of a statement, but I did just kind of have a question off of that. So is it an issue is it an issue if I'm just now learning these things and I'm like teaching her stuff that I think is worthy, as opposed since I wasn't raised with it?
No. Caller. It's better late than never. It's not your fault that you didn't get the proper guidance in your adolescent years, and it's not your fault, right? That didn't happen. But now that you are aware that you didn't get the proper guidance, and that maybe you kind of lack in some areas when it comes to dealing with women, or just overall. Now that you are aware of it, okay, you said yourself you're taking active steps to address it. That's all a man can do. No one can ask anything else.
Exactly. But how old is your daughter though?
She's 5. She's
5. Yeah, you're good. You're good, bro. Like, she's still in an impressionable age. But from here, all you got to do is just maintain consistency.
Right there. Yeah. And Miles said the operative word: consistency.
Let me ask you this: when do you think your daughter needs you the most? At ages 1 through 5, 5 through 10. 10 through 15, 15 through 20, 21 through 25. When do you think your daughter needs you the most when it comes to age?
Well, just picking from that category you gave me, I would say 1 through 5.
Okay, so I'm going to say whenever you are there, the whole life, that is your child. She could be 40 years old and really need some dad's advice. She could be 60 years old, and hope you still living and need some dad advice.
She went to the grave fight for that one, bro.
Yeah. So my thing is, like, sometimes we think of when they're younger. Sometimes there's cats that didn't even know they had children until they're older, and they're standoffish because I don't think they need me in their life. No, whenever you know that you have a child out there, they need you, because deep down inside they've been wanting to get to know you, because half the time they want to get to know themselves too. And they realize they came from somebody else.
That's some real shit right there. They want to get to know themselves. That's why they want to get to know their parents. That's some real shit.
So they need you. So I don't think down on what I think the biggest thing is. Once you become aware, you teach what you are aware to your young ones, and you lead by example, and you go from there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Caller, go ahead, bro. It's on you.
What was that?
Oh, go ahead. You got it.
No, I was just saying I appreciate that, because it's interesting when I notice like she pick up on every single thing that I do. And so I'm glad I'm being solid, making the right choices, because she's literally like copying everything I'm doing.
Yeah. Bro, real quick, I'm glad you said that. And this is what guys need to understand about their children. Roughly between the ages of the time that they're born, really, up until the time that they're 3, that's the most impressionable stage. But after 3, those adolescent years going up to elementary on the way up to middle school, those years are extremely important, because once they hit middle school and they hit puberty and the hormones, then how they look is going to matter, because the 5-year-old don't really care if they're cute or not, but a 12-year-old girl does in most cases. So now all these different other things creep in, so you got to make sure you establish the foundation, because at some point, once kids hit middle school, high school, and beyond, those years are the years where they're going to be most influenced by what's going on in the world. Right, so you got to get that foundation before that happens.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm trying to like make sure my I have a strong influence, but I'm also aware of outside influence that could possibly influence as well. So I just try to make sure my influence is strong enough to where
that's all you can do. That's all, and you can't worry about it. Like a lot of dudes, they be worried about. Guys worry about their daughters more. Not me. I worry about my sons more, because my daughters are straight. My sons are goofy, right? So my daughters ain't worried about them at all. It's the boys I'm worried about, right? So, but all you can do is teach them, and you know what I'm saying, and that's all you can do, and leave it in God's hands. Like I did the best I can. I hope, and they're gonna fuck up.
Right.
They're gonna mess up. They're gonna blame you for something,
Yeah.
They're gonna. It don't matter how great you did. They still gonna be like, you love me too much. That's why I can't never find love. Like it doesn't matter what happens, right? But the thing is, we just got to be consistent. And one of my advice for fathers is you teach for the moment, but you also got to prepare for the future and teach them for the future too. So forethought is a big thing. I believe is one of a big man's quality to look into the future and prepare to where he needs to step.
You gotta have foresight. You gotta be able to
foresight. That's what it's That's what it's called.
Yeah. Foresight.
So and to teach that, but I mean, hey, great job on it being on your mind and something that you have actively are doing. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, I just use my growing up as an example, and then I just fill in the gaps on, you know what I'm saying, what I didn't have and give her that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it.
There you go.
Because the thing about it is, like, also too, there's one more thing too.
Y'all get cut off.
Opinion on this.
No, you're not hearing them?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Hello?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. The last thing I just want to say about is maybe a question for Zag more if he thinks. What do you think about the what you call it? What does it matter about like her not having her mom around? Is that like a thing I should address as far as like putting somebody in that position, or just don't worry about that?
Okay, here's the reality. Here's the reality of it. A woman can grow up with both her parents in her house and still not be about shit. A woman can grow up in a single family household and be great, right? So it's just all types of things that factor into that. My thing is this. I don't give a fuck about a woman's father or her mother, right? Because my influence is going to be the preeminent influence anyway. So I don't give a fuck what she learned or whatever, right? If she ain't moving how I need her to move, she ain't going to be there anyway, right? So a lot of guys, they'll say shit like, oh, choose a chick who had her father there. And I say this all the time. If you are a masculine man, then cool. But if you are a weak dude, you don't want to deal with a chick that had a strong man in her life because she's going to recognize your weakness now. Right? So guys think that, if I meet a woman, she had a great upbringing with her father, you got to remember that how she acts with her father is directly correlated to the type of man that her father is. If you ain't that nigga or if you ain't similar, she's not going to show you the same type of respect. It ain't going to happen. But y'all got it.
No, I totally agree with you, Zach. It's not about it's about how she treats you and how she moves now. And if she could listen to the if she could listen to your plan on what direction you guys are headed. Right. So
yeah, I think I was saying more on the aspect of like the mother, like her having a mother. Is that really like anything to worry about? Like
no.
Worry about it.
No. Now, again, it's all about influence. So, caller, I'll give you a real quick example. When you have a woman and there's influences that are impacting you. So let's say you're dealing with a woman, whether she came from a single parent household or not, because she can come from a single parent household where she had an overbearing mother, and you know what I'm saying, and she's always battling with her mother. That can potentially be an issue with you because she has a drama-filled life. You see what I'm saying? She has a drama-filled life.
Is he talking about the daughter not having a mother, or the mother not having a mother?
You're talking about dating a woman, right?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about my daughter because I got full custody of her. So I was saying like,
okay. I'm gonna tell you like this because I went through that same situation.
Yeah, I did too.
I think a child needs their mother just like I think a child needs their father. But if in a situation where that mother can't be there, I'm going to try to find a relative. My sister was around because there was some things that I wanted her to know that I couldn't teach her. I've never been a woman. I don't ever want to be. And there are some things that you are just not going to know. And so, yeah, you want to have somebody around her. I say a relative or something that could teach her certain things. But at the same time, you could teach her a lot. You could teach her a lot, and it takes researching and reading certain things. And this might be a little too much, but I never forget when my young one was in elementary school, and that time hit, and she called me. She didn't want anybody else but her dad to come through, her dad to pick her up, her dad to go to the store for her, and her dad to, get everything for her. And that was it. So don't ever diminish what you do or what you can't do. You just do the most that you can do, and you go from there. And because of your love and concern, you'll find whatever you feel like you're lacking in. You'll find that in somebody, not a mate. I'm not talking about a mate. I'm just talking about maybe it's a grandma, maybe it's a sister, maybe it's a cousin, to say, hey, could you talk to her about this, to help kind of back it up? Because at some point when she gets a little older, she's going to realize, well, I'm dead. You're not a female. But at the same time, what you have instilled in her already, she'll be just fine.
Yeah. So I would. So now that I understand what you're asking, like J. Roman, when I got custody of my older two kids, my son was 5, my daughter was 10, and almost as soon as I got custody, now I didn't go through the courts, right? I basically went to their mother and just asked for my kid. Let me take them. I'm doing well. I just had a house built. Let me take them, right? And she was reluctant. She cried, but she said yes. And the reason why she said yes is because she knew they were in great hands with me, right? That's why she said. She didn't say yes because she didn't want to be a mother. No, it hurt her, right? So now, fast forward, I get the kids. She's going through shit, and she kind of falls off. But luckily for me, to J. Roman's point, my mother, their grandmother, was a great resource. And so my children were damn near at my parents' house, damn near every weekend with their cousins. So that's the kind of lifestyle they had. So I had that, right? But there were times, J. Roman, where I had to go get the maxi pads. I had to go get all that shit. I had to hold her and be like, it's okay, baby, it's okay. She's all embarrassed and shit. Yeah. So I had to deal with that too. Go ahead, caller.
But that's cool.
Real quick, caller. I want to say this. Caller, real quick. I want to say this before I forget, because you got full custody of her, and this is the mistake that a lot of single mothers make because of their frustration with not having help. They rush into relationships with somebody for the help. A lot of women do that. I'm not saying all, but a good number of single mothers are very guilty of rushing into situations with men, introducing these men to their kids after 30 days of knowing these niggas. A lot of women fuck up and do that, right? And you do not want to have a kid with a woman who would do that, right? You don't want to.
Caller.
Yeah, no, that's one thing. That's why I'm holding off, because I'm definitely not trying to do that.
Caller.
I care less about that.
Caller, listen.
Yeah.
How long are you dating now?
No, not really.
Okay. And let me ask you a question. Let's just say you started dating. How long should it take before the day that you smash a woman to the day that she meets your daughter?
I feel like it just depends on how serious the situation is.
Listen. Stop feeling. Number one, stop feeling. So I need you to say, I think, or from my understanding, right? And then I need you to give me the time in months.
Okay. I think I don't know. To be
you don't
honest.
know. You don't know. Yeah, now, would you introduce your daughter to a woman that wasn't your girl, and still a woman that you was just fucking and dating?
Oh, definitely not.
Okay, all right. So my next question is, how long does it take for a woman to become your girl from the time that you start fucking her?
It's gonna take some time, at least like a year, at least.
Okay, so keep that, and I want you to remember that you said that. And I want you to remember that if you meet a woman and the pussy's so good and y'all get along and y'all click so well, I want you to remember that you said a year. I want you to maintain that consistency and that discipline to make sure it's a year until your daughter meets this woman. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
No matter what.
No,
at least a fucking year. And listen, no matter how much she says, oh my God, when am I going to meet your daughter? I thought we were making progress. Listen, you let her know it's going to take at least a year. You understand? Now, the reason why you want to do that, and it should be at least a year. Sometimes 18 months is even better. But the reason why you want to do that is, number one, she needs to learn how to respect your decisions. And she needs to have patience to understand that things are only going to happen, especially concerning your daughter, when you say they're going to happen. Because you're doing two things. You're safeguarding your daughter, and you're making sure this woman respects your decisions and your leadership. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm taking it slow now, because I realized initially I fucked up. So now I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm using that to be better in my thinking mentality, because that's why I'm in the situation now with the kid, because I fucked up the first time. So now I'm just trying to be more, on point how I'm thinking.
Do you know about Lucario's program called How to Master the Vetting Process?
No, I'm not aware.
All right. There's a website called Shop Lucario. Do you know Mr. Lucario?
Yeah.
Okay. He has a website called Shop Lucario. So it's basically ShopLocario.com. He has a program on there called Mastering the Vetting Process. Honestly, in your situation, I think it is imperative that you go over there and get that.
There you go.
And I want you to.
I'm not really worried about trying to make a girl my girl.
It's not about no, caller, real quick, caller. It's not about that. It's not okay. Real quick, okay. And I need to impress upon this. I need to impress this upon you. It's not about whether you're actively looking. You should already have the information before you even fuck with a chick. You don't want to start fucking with a chick and then start trying to find the information. No, you want to have it already. So that way, as you're meeting new women, now you can better gauge your steps. Like to the what Miles was saying, you can meet a chick, and after 2 or 3 months, you could want to make her your girl because everything is going so well that you might jump the gun and do it too soon, right? So, and I don't care how much game you got, you can still be tempted to make unwise choices. You know what I'm saying? So the game is about policing yourself to make sure you don't. But also, when you guys, this is for women too. You got to remember, and this is for people who got kids. When you're meeting up new people, you do not know them well enough to introduce your kid into the equation. You have to make sure you have a firm understanding of who that motherfucker is. Right? Because this is what you don't want to do. You don't want her, the woman, getting to know you and your daughter at the same time.
Exactly.
You want her to know and be firm with who you are first.
Yes. Exactly. No, and that's it. That's it right there. That's the biggest part of the vetting process. And bro, that's what. And you see right there what you just said, K-Zach. That's exactly why a lot of motherfuckers try to say negative things about dating people with kids.
Right.
It is really because most people, the average motherfucker, man or woman, they have no discipline and no fucking patience and no respect for the relationship they have between them and their child. So because they don't have no respect for the relationship between them and their child, they end up making hasty decisions with the relationship outside. And then they bring in, oh yeah, meet my kid. And you know, niggas coming in to fuck their mother, stepping over kids in the living room, stepping on their toys to get to the fucking bedroom to fuck their moms. And then walking out. And these kids is seeing different niggas every other month, different niggas walking in and out of his mother's bedroom or his father's bedroom, stepping over them in the fucking living room, watching TV, playing with toys. Like, it's disgusting. But everybody want to have something bad to say about a person with kids. No, it's not about the person with kids. It's because you're a low quality person. That's what it is. It don't have nothing to do with the fact that the person that you're dating has children. It has everything to do with the fact that you are low quality. You don't have discipline. You don't have any fucking standards about the way you do shit, and you don't give a fuck about what the child is seeing.
Go ahead and do the clap button. I like that one. Yeah. I ain't got the control of it. Do the clap button. Yeah. Hey,
I want to end the stream right now. I'm ready to go.
This is a lot of knowledge and information.
Facts.
And I wish I could just download all the stuff I learned in the same position you're in right now.
Right.
But I definitely want you to understand that you have to make sure that they don't try to use your daughter as a stepping stone to get to you.
Exactly.
And they will.
And they will. They'll try to move that along faster because they realize that you are a package deal. And so they try to hurry up and get through the whole package so you can consider them as somebody that wants this package deal. And it can't be that.
She's so cute.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of things to babysit, to do hair, to
yo, we talk to my daughter first and don't even acknowledge me. I see all of that.
Yeah.
Caller, I want to make you aware of something. I want to make you aware of something. The time, because you said earlier, oh, well, I ain't really worried about, dating and getting with no woman right now. Don't you know that is the time where you meet some of the most compatible females? Exactly when you're not even in that state of mind. Why? Because the energy that you give off when you meet people, when you're focused on yourself, and you're going to be focused on your daughter, you're going to be focused on yourself, you're going to be focused on doing what's best for you and your family. That is when the most compatible a woman is going to recognize your value and recognize your power. Exactly. And she going to be right there. And you going to smash, and it's going to be some of the best sex you ever had. And then you going to start saying, God damn, I wish I had that fucking vetting process video because I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. But I'm telling you, that's exactly when you meet them, when you're not thinking about it, because a lot of these dudes that's dealing with all the problems they having with dating and getting rejected. The reason why you get rejected and you're not meeting the women you want to meet is because you're too focused on something else and not yourself. But when you're focused on yourself, that's when you start to meet them. That's exactly when you meet them. So that's what I'm saying to you, caller. Don't think that just because you're not in the state of mind to be with to get with any woman and this, that, and the third, don't mean they're not out there looking for you and feeling your energy when you walk into the room.
Yeah, because whatever you say right now,
I'm just very selective. I just try to be very selective of the people that come into, come around.
Of course.
Whatever you say in the beginning, they're going to try to break. In a very sly way. Hey, I don't have anybody over the house when I got my daughter over here.
Right.
Oh, can I come by and just drop something off? I really wanted to see you. Let me do this real quick. Let me do that. What time does she go to sleep? I'll come over then. I ain't gonna lie, I fell for that one. I did. I'm just saying, like, the stuff I've went through.
Nobody's born with game, bro. We all do some goofy.
The stuff I've been through has got me to this point. So I wish I could just download it and say, hey, avoid all this. But at the same time, you have to understand that they're trying actively to get close to you, like Miles was saying, because they see a responsible man that's taking care of his daughter, that's living what he speaks.
And that's very attractive.
That's gaining, because I know you're thinking about finances, you think about future, you're thinking about school, you're thinking about, you got all this stuff going on in your head and you actively stepping toward it.
Yep.
And so that's very attractive to them.
I'm telling you,
like, hey, bro, hold on.
You gonna go out one Saturday night just to unwind, just to chill. You gonna meet some chick, and then y'all gonna start just having a regular conversation, and you gonna start talking about exactly what Jay Roman talking about. Yeah, I got my daughter. I'm just focused on this right now. We doing this and blah blah blah. And I got plans with my daughter this weekend, and she gonna be sitting there falling in love, like, oh my god.
Yep.
Look at this
fantasizing of what it could be like.
That's what they be saying. They be like, dudes at my job, they be like, bro. Because I stay in like an outskirts of Atlanta. And all you gotta do is go down there in Atlanta, bro, with your daughter. They're gonna be on you. I'm like, bro, what?
What? I'm glad, and I want women listening. This is the fundamental difference between a man who has his kids and a woman, because guys don't look at women the same way. You got your kids. That's so amazing. It's like, because it's normal to see a chick with her kid, but when a father, oh my God, he is so responsible. This is a man who cares about other people. That's very alluring for women.
His compassion. Oh my God. His responsibility and consistency and the way he shows up for his daughter. Oh my God. And then that turns into,
I want to have intercourse.
Hey, yo, this brings back so much.
I'm telling you.
I walked through the mall with my daughter when she was about 5 after I just got finished braiding her hair. You know, we're going to go shopping.
I learned how to braid too. On God, I've been trying to learn how to braid.
Oh man, I used to braid my daughter's hair.
I taught myself how to braid.
Yeah, me too. You got YouTube now. You got YouTube now, man. You should be able to. Hey, you got YouTube now. So hey, work it out.
Yo, listen.
I'll be like,
Hey,
or my sister don't know how to braid. I'm like, how do you not know how to braid? Like,
This is the realest shit. This is some of the realest shit where we're on a manhood is a skill set show and y'all niggas is talking about braiding a girl's hair. That's how real this fucking show is. I need y'all to realize that shit, nigga. I need y'all to understand what we're doing right here.
I used to,
because I'm not a father, but shout out to y'all. This is a real conversation, bro. Both of y'all, yo, you have to go learn how to braid too, nigga, because.
But that's real shit, though. That's real shit because you're taking care of it. You're not looking at nobody else to do that for you. You're taking care of yourself.
Right. And in the morning, like, so you, because we want to step out looking good, and we want our daughters to step out looking good, right? So and sometimes, like, hey, my sister can't braid. I can't let a week go by, 2 weeks go by. So hey, you part that thing, you know, you break it down. I had to learn how to do it. We in the mall and like I said, I was not in the frame that I in right now.
Right.
All right. And I never forget, my daughter was sick. She was about, I don't know, I think she was like 3 at the time. She was sick. And the young lady said, you know, can I bring you guys some soup or something? You know, and I'm like, yeah, come on through. Bring some soup. That'll be very helpful. And my daughter was on my lap. She was laying up against me, coughing and stuff. And she brought the soup by, and then she was rubbing my daughter's back, which kind of irritated me a little bit, right? Next thing you know, she's rubbing my belly.
Oh, my gosh.
And I put my daughter down for a nap, and then, you know, intercourse with you. So, yeah. So, like, but it was so crazy. It was so crazy that afterwards I felt the weirdest feeling of displeasure in myself.
Bruh.
Where I just felt like I just fell for everything this person just did.
Yep.
You know, I let somebody in that didn't really know me or my daughter, like everything. And so you just got to learn from your mistakes. Facts. And I think if you can learn how to not make the mistake, and understand why even before, that's so much better. And I think, you know, a imperative thing is sticking to that vetting program. And I think you need to learn it and know it and stick to it, especially because at the end of the day, you and your daughter will always have a certain bond, but who you choose to bring in that bond is going to be so important on how she is raised, because the influence you are allowing to come in.
Yes.
And I think that's if you could hold on. If you can hold on. Now, man, I'm so glad we had this show today, because I think I'm gonna push my 10-step single dad to do, you know, the mistakes and stuff. And one of those is sort of what Zag was saying, is not taking the time to take care of yourself too. Yeah. So, you know, so you don't get desperate in those moments. Yeah. That you actually got to go and, you know, enjoy yourself a little bit. Set some time up to meet some people and interact with somebody older and just, you know, have that grown conversation, because you done got thrown up on, you didn't put the girl to bed, you didn't had all these baths every night. Like, sometimes you need to go do that. So my thing is like, but who you bring to influence is going to be so important. Stick to that vetting program, man.
So heavy. And I'll add to it. I'll add to, you know, what you just said, J. Roman, because we talk so much about the quality and caliber of women. Like me personally, the quality and caliber of woman I let into my life as a single man. You understand? Because I mean, as a single man, it's a 12 to 18 month process for this woman to show her consistency to me. So imagine what it means when you got your seed, bro. Because because like you said, Caller, you know, and no offense to your situation necessarily, but like you said, you already made the mistake and got her here. What the fuck we look like making more mistakes, bringing in unworthy people to influence her? Come on. Like, what are this is what I'm talking about loving yourself, having that real masculine identity and safeguarding the sanctity of your life. And then on top of that, your child's life. That's because let me tell you something, guys. And shout out to 1950 because he said this in Game Kings 2. Once a man has a child, your life ain't yours no more. You're already dead.
Yeah.
You're already dead.
Yeah. I'm dead, y'all.
Which father wouldn't give their life up for their child?
Facts.
As soon as you inseminate someone, your life is done. Like, still enjoy your life, right? But realistically speaking, your life is done, bro. Because which real father is not going to give up his life for his child like that? I ain't got no question to ask. I'm John Q in this motherfucker.
I'm glad you said that because I might not give my life for a woman, but for my daughters, I'll give my life 100 times over.
So what do we really? So that's what I'm saying, guys. The vetting process, having a masculine identity, understanding that manhood is a skill set, understanding the legacy of manhood, all of these things that we talk about. This is what we're doing is super fucking important. Not just for us, but if you got a seed, if you got a child, nigga, your manhood is even, bro. I was literally having this conversation today because I started this thing, and this is just some free game for y'all, but I started this thing with my nephew where we have like basically, uncle nephew mentor conferences every Saturday morning. Do you understand? And the whole thing, and I asked him, do you understand why we're having this? And he was like, no, not really. And I said, look at your father. I said, how much do you depend on your father? He said, a lot. I said, how much does mommy depend on your father? He said, a lot. I said, how much does grandma depend on your father? He said, a lot. I said, so you see, there are people depending on him as a man. And one day you're going to be a man, and a lot of people are going to be dependent on you. And most importantly, you got to be able to depend on yourself. So we got to strive for the highest version of ourselves and make sure we're good. Make sure we are operating on the best front. Make sure we are doing the best for ourselves. So we could depend on ourselves, and the people that depend on us, we can be good for them as well. You understand? And guys, I'm telling you, man, it's a big deal. None of this is by accident. And I want y'all to understand that this is why we talk about this stuff. We are not these fucking PUAs. We're not telling you, we're not just trying to sell courses and shit. These are real conversations that a lot of men wish they had. You see what I'm saying?
And they're not having them over there. And the reason why they can't have conversations this deep over there is because they've never had women who fuck with them that deep.
What?
So they can't speak to it.
And one thing I want everybody to catch, Miles says, I'm not a father, but as an uncle, I do this.
I'm telling you.
And that's the community that is needed. And I think that's pretty dope. So when you got your nephew or you got somebody that's your relative or somebody you deem close enough to be your relative, turn the music off. Take the time to say something. Turn in that conversation. Take the time to interact. There's times I forget to do it just because I got my little one so much. But when they hop in the car, I cut the music off, get off the phone. How was your day?
Facts.
What did you learn in school? Let's have this little moment where we talk about stuff before we get home with everybody else, just me and you.
Exactly.
What was you thinking? What was you like? You got to take those moments. You're not too busy. Some people swear they're too busy. Now you're not too busy, and it don't have to be long. It could be a 15-minute conversation, a 10-minute conversation. But if you have those conversations consistently, oh, you done built something where they can't wait to say something. Guess what?
Yeah,
this is what happened.
Jay Roman.
This is what's going on.
And shout out to April MC in the building. Appreciate you.
April, and also Steve the Dean. Jay Roman, if you don't mind, let me say this. Steve the Dean and April. Let me say this to your point, Jay Roman. When I would pick up my boys, I have a 11-year-old and a 5-year-old. When I pick them up from school, they grew up with phones and tablets. So when I pick them up from school, the first thing, my 5-year-old is, Dad, can I have your phone? No. My 11-year-old, I take his tablet, I turn off the music, and I ask them about their day. Not only their day, but their week, because they don't live with me, right?
Yeah,
so they live with mom. So when I pick them up, I'm not only asking about that day, I'm asking about that week, right? And I'm talking to them about various things because that connection, right? And people need to understand, when you give people who care about you your undivided attention, and you show that you give a fuck about what they got going on, it means the world to them. But you got it.
Yeah. So, this is, man, I'm glad we had this conversation. And I hope everybody that got kids understand that the game, which ain't about women, but it is about you and everything you deem to be under your responsibility.
Right.
And that's including your kids, your legacy.
Oh, real quick, caller. I forgot the caller was there. Bro, you got something you want to add, fam? My bad.
Well, that last part, just real quick, I was saying that I realized how important developing that relationship is, just based on what wasn't there when I was growing up. So now my daughter, whenever she got something, I don't never just discredit anything she's giving me. I'm always, whatever she got to offer, I'm like, oh, okay, what's up? Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm always engaging her, trying to do that. I feel like that's very important too. Just engaging a kid, making them feel seen, making them feel heard.
I appreciate real quick, because getting about that time, and I'm not trying to cut you off, but real quick, first and foremost, this was a great call. We talked about a lot of shit just within this conversation. Also, I hope not only you, but everyone else got something from it. But go ahead, caller. I just want to point that out.
No, I donated to the Miles and Zag, by the way, too. Both of you, I donated. But
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. I'm sorry to do this, but it's bothering me. Sometimes we hold on too long to the past of what we didn't have, and the way we express it. Miles got me really looking at sometimes the way your language exposes you and how you say things. Don't say it as a crutch, but say it as a learning thing. So how I grew up, I have learned this, right? So now it's not saying what was lacking, it's saying what you gained. And you gain knowledge to do things a little bit different with your youngster. You understand what I'm saying? Because we got to appreciate being alive, appreciate living and making it through, no matter how tough it is. And we can express it and make it better for our youngsters.
Thanks.
There you have it. Real quick. Danny P with the 1999. Appreciate you. Go ahead, caller.
no, I was saying, I see what he was saying. The way I'm saying it does kind of sound defeated or feel some type of way about it. The way I'm saying it, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Plus, it keeps your background private too. Hey, the way I grew up, I learned that everybody don't need to know what was vacant from your life when you were growing up.
Right.
You don't have to share everything with everybody. Guys, you can keep shit to yourself. Believe me, women do. Women, even if a woman loves you, she has a profound connection. In all likelihood, she's not gonna share every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So just understand that you got to keep some shit for yourself.
Yeah, but that's all I got, man. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I donated. Once I get some more funds coming on, I'm gonna try to get on memberships and consultations and all that. So,
definitely check out, before you spend any money, the first thing you should check out is the vetting process. If you're gonna spend a penny, look at that first.
Yeah, go to Shop Lucario. Go to shoplucario.com, and it's called How to Master the Vetting Process.
Okay, I'll grab that one first.
Yeah, check that out, man. Appreciate it. All right, caller, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
All right, man.
Appreciate you. Are we good on calls, Miles? I know it's about that.
Yeah, we good on calls. You wanna just do the? We can just do the questions and then wrap it up.
Yeah, let's just get them out the way. Where I got to get back because there's a lot of fucking questions. I'm trying to pick the ones that. Okay, right there. That's the one I want to get. So he says, what are the top sources, behaviors that generate disrespect? A lack of boundaries and inconsistency. Yeah, I got it.
I totally agree, man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Shout out to Linwood with the $5 super chat. He says, #loving myself first maxing. Okay, yeah.
This nigga. I don't know what they're putting in the water in DC. But okay, so he says, Brother Roman, if everything in your life is because you've let it happen, would you ever check someone or would you only check yourself?
Well, that's a loaded question because is it consistently something they're doing to me? But mainly, I'm gonna check myself for allowing somebody to be that near me that don't respect me. So I don't, you control every. It's a hard concept for people to understand because they don't want to see the other half of it. You control everything around you in your life pretty much.
Pretty much, yes.
Pretty much. Even if you're at a job, if you don't want people around you at the job, don't be at that job. Be at a different job. So technically you control where you're at. The hard thing about it is realizing that all the mistakes and bad thing in your life is something that you let happen and you control too. So nobody wants to do that. They want to call that bad luck or, something they can't control. But yeah, check yourself. Check yourself. You got something going on in your life. I'm quite sure if you really was to map it out, you could realize that you have a lot of influence on why something continually happen.
Okay. Real quick before I pop to the next question, I just want to address this because the guy asked it about an hour ago, but I just forgot because he asked me, when it comes to game, do I teach my daughters and sons the same? Yes, I do. Even when it comes to sex, yes, I do.
No, I don't.
Definitely. I'll tell my daughter, hey, if you worried about that motherfucker cheating on you, either leave him or be in an open relationship with him. I would tell my daughters that quickly. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's differences because I'm dealing with a male and female, but there's a lot of similarities for the most part with what I teach my sons and my daughters. Right. So
I don't.
I gotta keep it real because you gotta understand my daughters see how I move. So how can I teach them? I can't teach them like the monogamous, sexually exclusive men. I can't teach them that aspect of dealing with men because I'm not that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree on certain things. Yeah, it's going to be the same, but I observed through my sister, who has 7 brothers. She got a lot of game. Like no dude can come to her with no whack shit, right? But at some point, our whack shit became real shit, right? We got a little older, we start to really believe what we were saying, and sometimes they need to fall for something to get that experience. So, you got to. Sorry, baby, you got to.
You gotta let them. And here's the thing with relationships: just because I'm not a monogamous dude, I'm not teaching my kids how to not be monogamous. I'm teaching them how to make their own decisions.
Yeah.
And whatever type of relationship I will never funnel my children into any particular type of relationship. I'm not doing that. I'm saying, if they want to have kids, cool. If they want to be married, cool. If not, cool. If they want open relationships, casual, whatever they want, I'm here for it. I'm just going to give them the guidance so they can make the best choices logically. That's all I can do. I'm not trying to, I want you to know. And I think that's the problem with society. Parents, they keep trying to funnel their kids into one, and I'm not saying this of you, J. Rom, I'm just speaking in general. They're trying to funnel their kids into a certain thing, but the reality of it is when they meet people of the opposite sex, those teachings might not take hold because now that they're experiencing things for themselves, they don't want what you taught them. They want something different. So you got to teach them with an open mind so they can be prepared for that.
Simply,
in my opinion,
simply the way I could put it is I'm trying to teach my son how to be the guy, and I'm trying to teach my daughter how to recognize the guy.
Exactly. Yeah. Real talk. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like I said, I don't have kids, but I do agree with that. Shout out to Danny R with the 1999 super chat, and shout out to Danny P with the 19. We got both Dannys with the 1999 super chat. Appreciate y'all.
Okay, so he says, can you coach a woman? My bad. Can you coach a woman out of her bad habits like extreme insecurity, fear, doubt that derives from past romantic experiences? I would not be dealing with a woman who got all that going on. Me personally, I'm not dealing with that.
Coach a woman out of her bad habits.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with that.
Do you need a place to stay, man? Or you got your own place, or
this
are you
is
down
what I
on
would
your
tell
luck?
guys. Stop trying to be a woman's psychotherapist. Like, no, she got now. Every woman is insecure. They might not be insecure all the time, but women throughout their life, because they're women, they're gonna go through bouts of insecurity where they feel pretty, then they don't, and they feel this and they don't. They're gonna go through that. But when you talk about extreme insecurity, fear, and doubt, bro, that's probably a chick that got some deep-seated issues, maybe even some past traumas. Why would you take on that reclamation project? She's a project. Well, I'm not taking on no project. It ain't happening. It's too, bro. Life is too short for me to be trying to help a bitch through some shit that happened before I even knew her. Like, it ain't happening.
I'm not gonna lie. I will.
I know you did it, nigga. I know you did it.
Nah, if I needed a place to stay and I made some bad choices and I didn't prepare for the future, and I was down on my luck. You know, I might try to coach her through this as we, you know, as she helped me out. You know, at the end of our interaction, you know, we definitely probably wouldn't work out, but she will be leaving our relationship in a better place than I've gotten her. And she would appreciate me for that as we go our separate ways. So that'd probably be the only time I'd do something like that.
I'll say this to answer that question. You have to be careful not to look at it as to try to coach her out of bad habits and getting her on your program. You understand? I don't give a fuck about what you've been through. All I care about is your performance based on the new program that you need to adapt to. And if I see that you cannot adapt to the new program, then you're out of here. If I see that you can, then we can continue. As long as you can continue to deal with the program at hand, which is my program, then you can continue to stay here. So it's, again, in life, we need to focus on what we want instead of trying to fix or focus on what we don't want. You see what I'm saying?
There you go. And shout out to MXP channel with the $4.99. He says, good to see men have a debate without being sensitive. Salute OGs. Nephew, appreciate the game. God bless. Appreciate you for the super chat. And that's some real shit. And this is how men should communicate. It don't mean we're going to agree. Like, even within this segment, we didn't agree on everything. Jay Roman is like, I'm not having a chick clean up behind me. I'm showing her how to complete the task. Right. So even that, we didn't agree, but it wasn't well, Jay Roman, why I got to be like that? Like, you know, it ain't, he's a grown man. I'm a grown man. We do shit differently, but it works.
Right.
It works.
All right. So we got any other questions or were you good?
We do. We got one last question I'm going to get. I saw it. So some of y'all asked questions. We're not going to get to it. I apologize, but it is what it is. So he says, if she settles for you, or you not the guy in general, or you just not the guy for her, the latter. It doesn't mean you're not the guy in general. You're just, guys, there are going to be, all you guys right now, every last one of you guys, there are women out here where they won't settle for you, and there are women out here where they will. You just have to do the due diligence to make sure you're not being settled for. That's all.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't say it no better.
That's it. Yep. All right.
And on that note, gentlemen, you have anything y'all want to plug?
Yeah, guys, go to Cunningham Elements and get your soap. Get your masculine identity soap. Go to Cunningham Elements and get your masculine identity eau de parfum sport. Oh yeah, this shit. So, the silver one is the sport, and then the gold one is the masculine identity. Make sure you check that shit out. Yo, this shit smelled too good, man. Woo! This should have been scratch and sniff, so y'all could get a little bit of that.
You know.
I'll take your word on it on that one. I'll just try to order my bottle.
Yo, man, real quick, Jay Roman, bro, what's going on with you?
Shout out to April MC, appreciate you.
Hey, you know, I've been working hard in the background. I've been working hard in this background, getting my tutelage from 1950. He's always on my head about getting stuff out, doing things. You know, busy days for me, for everybody. I know for everybody. So, you know, I'm getting there. I just I gotta be humble a little bit. I see Miles stuff, and really I be seeing you know, I've seen everybody's thing look so nice, and I'm crawling before I can walk. You know what I'm saying? So it puts me like, damn, man, these guys be having nice little backgrounds, nice little thing on online.
You know how many years though, Jay Roman?
Yeah, I know, but I be rocking with y'all, and I wanna present something really nice and stuff, and you know, 1950 be like, hey man, just come out with your thing and just go from there, and you know, especially Steve the Ding. Steve the Ding always doing something new. You know, he in a car, he be on a bike, he always doing something. I'm like, man, so I'm gonna put it out there, and go from there. You know, I really had to kind of hone in on what I'm really passionate about, and building that legacy. And you know, preparing for having that leadership role and understanding that, and how much responsibility you have, and being consistent with it. is something that, you know, I'm really passionate about and trying to help any man going through that stuff. So, you know, it's coming out there. I know I done said it before. I'm done with that hang up, and we're gonna move on from there. So, you know, real game. Huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you know, but real game, no theory tomorrow. Watch it. It's one of the funniest shows on out, and educational for those who wanna. It's funny and educational all at the same time. So, you know, watch the show.
That has been Manhood is a Skill Set for this Saturday, July 12th. Appreciate Miles. Appreciate Joe Woman. Shout out to April MC. Shout out to Steve the Dean. Shout out to everybody who called, all of the moderators, everyone who super chatted, everyone who commented, even if you was acting like a hoe about it. We still appreciate the compliments. Can a woman truly love a man she doesn't respect? Nah. We out.
All right. Appreciate it.